Good evening, guys. Welcome back to West Virginia Mountain Life. We are now up at our upper garden, and we are going to plant some different types of lettuce and onions and maybe some radishes and turnips. The first thing I'm going to plant is going to be some iceberg lettuce. We put it into our earthway seeder. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not because there's not very many seeds, so we will find out. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is, this time I'm not going to plant them all over the ground. We're going to pick it up. We're going to move him over, I guess, to about right there. Got to put our kickstand back up. And I'm also, this time, going to use the row thing. We're going to put it down and see if that'll help us whenever we go to plant our next row to see where it needs to go. That slides back and forth, and you can adjust the amount of room between your rows in case you're going to use like a row tiller or something to go in between them, or if you just need a little bit of extra room to space them out properly. But I did not mark these off, so they may be a little crooked when I get done. I'm going to try my best to do a straight line. Here we go. Ready? Okay, that should be one row of iceberg lettuce. I'm looking to make sure that the seeds drop. As you can see, I kept trying to tilt it over a little bit in order to get it to dig. That's because my ground's a little unlevel. But it looks as though I've got plenty of seeds left, so I want to check to make sure that we've got seeds down in here, because I'm not really sure it picked them up. And yes, we have seeds. Nice, pretty, evenly spaced seeds. So I've got plenty of seeds left, so I'm going to do another row of iceberg lettuce right beside of it. So I'm going to pick it up, turn it around, and go back in my groove on this side. Don't forget to pick up your arm when you're going on this side and move it over this way so that you will have a row on this side. Because if you leave it down, you're going to tear out your seeds you just planted. I'm going to lean him over to make sure he's getting a good depth in the soil. Ready? Alright guys, there's 2 rows of iceberg. We'll be back in just a minute to do some more. Okay guys, we're back. After I used the earthway seeder to do the first 2 rows of lettuce, I noticed that they weren't putting down the exact amount of seeds that I wanted because there wasn't enough seeds in it to pick it up. So I went back and I hand sprinkled them and covered them back up by hand. So we're going to just do the rest of them because there's not very many seeds and because they're so tiny by hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up here. We're going to do hopefully 1 row, maybe 2 of romaine, depending on how much I've got. This is red romaine lettuce. It's really good for salad. My family eats a lot of lettuce, so we need to plant lots and lots and lots of lettuce. And I like different kinds of lettuce because I make lots of salad. And my kids like different kinds of lettuce on like their sandwiches and things like that. So that's why I'm planting iceberg and romaine, and I'm going to do some black seeded Simpson, which is great for lettuce and onions, and some of that stuff like that. There's one row we're going to plant it and then cover it up, and then we'll see if we've got enough for another one. If we do, then we'll plant it then. I'm going to go get my seeds. Also, I forgot to tell you guys, we did temp the soil again this evening because it is a different garden spot and because it's a different time of the day. And the soil temperature actually came up to 62 degrees. So it came up a lot today. So it was a beautiful, warm, sunny day. So that is going to help with our germination process too. We're just going to put these in between our fingers. They're super tiny. So you got to be really, really careful. You don't want to overseed it because if you do, then you have to come through and pull some of it out when it starts coming up, or it smothers each other out. So they're a teeny, teeny, tiny seed. We got a little bit of a breeze blowing, so kind of got to get down there pretty close, keep the wind from picking them up and carrying them off. Now it looks like I'm just going to have enough for one row of this romaine, which is fine, because as soon as it starts going out, I'll plant something else. I'm sure you guys can hear our kids. They're playing in the background. They're enjoying the warm weather too. Sprinkle whatever's left back where you thought you might be a little bit sparse. Now we're going to cover these up. When you go to cover these up, make sure that you don't put too much dirt over top of them. Not only does it take it longer for them to come up, but sometimes they won't come up at all if you cover them too much. We want to put just enough to get over the top and to mark where we're at, so that, you know, we know where we planted and where we haven't. Some people do their lettuce in beds, and that's great. I know my great aunt, she used to do hers in beds. She always had really, really good lettuce. But because of my garden space and the amount of vegetables that I plant, it's just easier for me to do them in rows. Okay guys, there's our red romaine lettuce. Anxious to see how it does. We're going to do some salad lettuce next. It's a mixed greens. It has all kinds of different kinds of fancy greens in it. We're going to do the same thing that we just did. We're going to do a furrow down through here, and then plant our seeds and cover them up. I'm not sure, I can't remember from last year exactly how big these seeds are, but them being lettuce seeds, I would assume they're around the same size. So I'm not even going to try it with the seeder. I'm just going to do them by hand because it doesn't really take that long anyways. And I'm enjoying using my new handle, so when my back's not breaking, it's a good day. Okay, there's this fur. I'm going to go get my other seeds. These are called a select salad blend. Last year, the ones that I planted was called like a gourmet salad blend. I had great luck with them. The only problem is that you really need to pay attention to the picture on the front of your pack as to what your salad greens are supposed to look like, because if for whatever reason you get an abundant weed growth and you've got a mixed green patch, it's hard to distinguish between what's the weeds and what's not. So make sure that you pay attention to what your salad greens are supposed to look like, and don't let your weeds get away from you, because then it's really, really hard to figure out what's what, because you've got so many different variety of lettuce. And it looks like we're going to have enough for about one row out of this too. Alright guys, I'm going to go back and cover this up. Then we're going to do some black-seeded Simpson. Or Simpson, I think it is. But anyways, we'll be back in just a few minutes after I cover this up to do that. Thank you for watching. Okay guys, we're back. I went ahead and did a furrow for my black-seeded Simpson lettuce. It's hard for me to say. Anyways, we have lots and lots of these lettuce seeds. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do one row of them, and as we pick out of them, a friend of ours actually told us that you could go back in and put down more seeds as you pick out of it, and it'll replenish itself. So we're going to try that this year and see how that works. Well, I've already got 4 rows of lettuce besides this one, so I think we should be okay. We're just going to sprinkle these down in here and do like we did before and go back and cover them up. And then hopefully after we get this lettuce done, then we're going to start and do some onions if it doesn't get dark on us. Okay, now as you can see, we've got plenty of lettuce seeds left, so we can replenish on into the season if need be. We're going to go back and cover it up. All right. There we go. One more row of lettuce. We're going to go get our onion sets and we'll be right back.